What up? What up? What up?
It's episode 2, man. Episode 2. Attack of the Clones.
I mixed this myself. 2 parts H, 1 part O.
Nice. Yeah, I've got, it's like beer.
We only have tequila.
It's like beer.
Yeah. Is it
Anyway, man. What's
Yeah.
good? So, I thought of cover songs. What do you think of cover songs, Roy? What do you think of cover songs for today? As the
Cover
ingredient.
songs. We are talking about songs that other people have recorded. Actually, there's an original person that sings and records it. And then somebody later on, a few years down the road, they have a song that they do the same exact song. So this is not samples.
No.
This is not little. This is actual cover songs done lyric for lyric and what have you.
Right, which I'm glad you clarified too, because I had a couple of songs I was thinking of. I'm like, but I can't do Weird Al Yankovic because they're parodies. They're not cover songs.
Yeah.
He's not doing the song. He's doing a version, but not
So that means I gotta cross.
You gotta cross out some of the Weird Al.
Taco Grande. I gotta cross that off the list.
That's a good one too. The Rico Suave Taco Grande.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit, so people who are watching, appreciate you watching if you do watch. But you and I go way back. We've talked about this. But you and I both played instruments. I played the saxophone from elementary school all the way through high school. You played the clarinet, multiple instruments. So you're very musical. I like to think that I'm somewhat musical. We both have eclectic musical tastes. And we both like some of the same stuff. So you and I both like kind of old school hip hop, R&B, but then there's some stuff that I like that I don't know if you like as much. Like I like new wave stuff and mod stuff. So I don't know if you were as big on that, but I know you like jazz.
I hate that stuff. No,
you hate that stuff? Okay, well then I'm changing my list to all new wave mod covers.
Yeah. Oh no. So yeah, what you were saying. Sorry to interrupt.
No, but so I'm excited to see what you say and what you think, because I may not know the songs you refer to, or I may like, I got to check that out, or something like that. So you and I know what the topic is, but we haven't discussed what's on our list. So I think it's kind of fun doing that.
So there may be some overlap. I will say if you say a song, I will say that I have. I will say that I have that song, but I do have a backup song.
Okay.
Just in case you pick a song. So if we do have some overlap, I will say that I do have that on my list, but then I do have like backups just in case.
Good. Okay, cool. All right. So
I started off last time, so this time you started off.
Yeah. So also I want to just preface it, like before we talk about like what I look for in a cover song, so people don't judge my list too harshly, or like some of the stuff is not like I like this song better than the original. I like it because it's different. Like, I don't want to hear somebody do a cover song and it sounds just like the song. It's like, I want to hear the artist's take on the song, or like, I like this person's voice, but they make it sound too much like the original. Like, I don't want to so just for example, like Weezer did a cover of Toto's Africa, which is a good cover, but it sounds so much like the original. It's almost like you have to wait till the keyboard part for it to like, I couldn't tell at first. I had a hard time deciphering, is this the cover? Is this the real song? Because
so in other words, you could not hear the rains down in Africa until about midway through the song.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Right. So, and I was very surprised that Toto, the manufacturer of the toilet, had a hit song, that and Rosanna. That's what I was very surprised by.
Oh, yes. Okay, so you're going, is that your first song there?
No, that's not my first song. So,
okay.
I'm wearing my Lionel Richie fan club t-shirt. I don't know if you've noticed, I've gone straight stash today. No goatee, just stash.
All right, going stash. I got a little bit of a growth here.
Yes, I trimmed it just for the show. This thing's gone and it's gone tomorrow, but I'm just going to stash for tonight.
Okay, just plain stash. Watch out.
All right. So my first song, it's "Just to Be Close to You" by Trey Lorenz, and done originally by the Commodores. Wow! So this also plays into it. So I know the Commodores, and I knew the Commodores even when this song came out, because this song came out in '92. You and I were both in high school.
The Trey Lorenz version.
The Trey Lorenz version of "Just to Be Close to You" by the Commodores. Now, the original is great. The original kind of makes me laugh because Lionel Richie does this whole extended singing, talking part before the song, which is kind of funny. And if you listen to it, it's funny. But the song itself is really good, and it's Lionel. He's got a very distinct voice. But the way
Yeah.
Trey Lorenz does it, it's just a straight take. It's very clean. It's very heartfelt, and it's very nice. And I remember, I mean, at the time, I was listening to a lot of R&B in high school. And
Right.
again, it came out in '92. The original came out in like I think '76. So okay, so you and I are the same age. The original came out when we were 1, and then the Trey Lorenz version came out when we were 1 year away from graduating. So there's a little bit of a lapse between the songs too. But I do like the Just to Be Close to You Trey Lorenz version. I'm not saying I like it more. I just like it. It was a version that at one point I did like more than the original, but I kind of like them both for different reasons.
Okay. All right. Just to Be Close to You. Excellent. Excellent choice. Originally by the Commodores and then done by Trey Lorenz. Okay. So here's my first song. Okay. This will probably be a given just because of where I am. Okay. This song was originally done in a movie way back when. Okay. A movie by the name of The Wizard of Oz. And the song's sung by Judy Garland. And covered in the early 90s by a man by the name of Israel Kamakawiwo Ole, and I'm talking about Over the Rainbow.
Yes.
You talk about a song that that is just all over the place, commercials, TV shows, movies. Everyone loves to hear that, weddings and all that stuff. Just the amount of exposure that he has with that song, and then also expose it just because he sang it, exposing the world to Hawaiian music altogether. I was like, man, I wonder who sang that song. They find out who it is, and then they go and they buy his CDs, his cassettes, his records, and then just exposed to Hawaiian music altogether. And so just that alone, just for him to take that song, and now it's like a medley of songs too. It's Wonderful World, by Louis Armstrong too. But everyone thinks of Over the Rainbow. So my first pick will be Over the Rainbow, originally done by Judy Garland and covered by Israel Kamakawiwo Ole, otherwise known as Brother Is.
Brother Is. No, you know what? I'm glad you chose it. I purposely didn't put it on my list because I was hoping you would say it, and you did. So, because it is, it's fantastic cover. It's beautiful. Okay. There's a reason. His whole beginning to the song, where you're just kind of humming it out.
Yeah. It's very really, simple. Really nice. It's just him, the ukulele, and his voice a cappella. No other production, maybe a little bit of reverb or all that stuff. Right. But it's a very simple song.
Very good. Very good.
And it touches a lot of people. So that's my first pick.
Fantastic. I am so glad you put it on your list.
All right, me too.
All right. So also, this list is in no particular order too. Like, it's not like, this is my all-time favorite cover.
Okay, yeah. So no particular order. In no particular order.
No particular order. So I know yours can be in order. I'm just saying mine isn't.
All right.
So the next song I put on my list is it's called When You Were Mine. So it is a Prince song done by Cyndi Lauper. Now,
When You Were Mine.
When You Were Mine. Yeah.
Okay.
You know that song, right? When you were mine. No. So originally
keep singing it. Keep singing it. No, keep singing it. I'm
not singing. So,
how am I gonna know?
So this song came out in 1980. So
okay.
And it's a good song. I like it. His original version is great, and it's a standalone great song. I actually didn't hear that version until I heard the Cyndi Lauper version, which appeared on her first album. She's So Unusual. So that was like 84, 85 or something like that. So it was like 4 or 5 years. But the reason I like her version is, for one, I like the difference, like a man sings it and a woman sings a song. There's a different take on it. Prince always had a kind of a feminine, kind of high-pitched sound, but he was always really cool and kind of overtly sexual. Yeah. And her song, it's kind of more longing and kind of sad. So because I heard it first, you can tell, like, a lot of Prince songs, when you hear their song, like, he wrote it. Like Manic Monday, if you could just hear that song in Prince's voice,
you can tell it's a Prince song. Yeah,
or
you
like,
can hear Prince singing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just, for this reason, I like the female voice, the way she sings it, they're both great songs. But When You Were Mine, Cyndi Lauper, originally done by Prince, is a really good. And if you haven't heard it, it's, check it out. It's good. I like it.
Can you sing the hook one more time, just so I know?
No.
Give you a thumbs down for not
This is
singing.
not the Roy and Mark singing
Fine.
show.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Okay. So here's my second pick. Now, I did not know that this was a cover song. Some of these songs, most of the songs are on my list.
I love it when we don't know. Sometimes we're like, what? Somebody else did
that
that
I
song
didn't
first?
know were cover songs until, the internet, how powerful of a tool that is. But this was done, I believe it was in the late 60s or something like that. It was recorded by a singer by the name of Gloria Jones. Mm-hmm. And the song was later covered in the early 80s, one of those new age pop kind of songs by a group called Soft Cell. And the song is called Tainted Love. Yes. Tainted Love. Now, I did not know that was a cover song. Well, that Soft Cell covered that song until I found out. I was just scrolling through YouTube, and then I see Tainted Love, and It was like an old school picture, black and white picture. And I said, what's this? And I clicked on it, and I was like, whoa, I did not know that Soft Cell covered that song.
Right. I didn't know that either. Yeah. That song was like a standalone song. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like,
right.
What?
Yeah, with the synthesizer, I mean, it's just like typical 80s tune. And you would think that it wasn't written anywhere else, but you hear the original. Actually, the original is actually a pretty cool song, but it's one of those songs where you just think it's. I could have sworn Soft Cell. I keep wanting to say Tainted Love. They're not the group. Tainted Love is the song.
Right. Tainted Love is the song.
Is the group. Because there actually is a band called Tainted Love.
No, they're a cover band.
A cover band. That's why. I think that's why. Anyway. So Tainted Love is the second song on my list.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't know that. I knew it eventually, but like originally, I thought that was just the song.
Yeah.
Also, I'm glad you brought up cover bands too, because there's a lot of artists out there that are really good, but all they do is cover stuff. Like, there's a band in the city called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. They're from San Francisco, and they do great cover songs, but that's all they do. So it's kind of hard to put a band that all they do is cover songs, because they do a really funny version or really cool version of R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly, but they have like ukuleles and it gets really hard, like really, so.
Wow. Okay.
So I didn't put any of their songs on there, but I'm glad you mentioned cover bands. But.
Are they on the level of Stung?
Oh, the Sting cover band.
Yeah. That's going to be a topic of another show. We got to write that down. That's the topic of another show. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Nice. No, they're not. They're more underground than that.
Okay. So your third song.
My third song. So my third song, and it's funny, until I looked at the list, I didn't realize there was multiple songs by Cyndi Lauper on here. But this one is a mashup. This is Bizarre Love Triangle and Time After Time. Originally by New Order and Cyndi Lauper, but it's by a group called The New Limb. Now, this one people may not know. This one's a cheat for me because I do like both songs, original songs. Both of those songs are like top 20 songs for me, because Bizarre Love Triangle can be cha-cha. They still play it in clubs. It's a really well-known, recognizable song. Dig it, dig New Order. And Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time, although it was not originally written by her, it was originally done by her, and that's essentially her song. It's a mashup, and it's got this kind of, both songs are sort of sad and like, and so the cover does both songs justice, and it's just a little different take on, and it just kind of seamlessly, just like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, how it kind of transitions. Same thing happens in this song. So if you haven't heard it, The New Limb, and it's Bizarre Love Triangle, Time After Time, kind of a mashup song. It's really good. So I'm not sure if you've heard it, but.
Not the cover version. I've heard the Bizarre Love Triangle, the original, but that's interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting choice here. So far, I've only heard two of your three songs on the list so far. All right. Okay, so my third song. A lot of the songs from the 60s were covered by a lot of groups, sometimes within a span of a year or two. And this was done by Motown, a lot of Motown groups. Like they had, like the Temptations sang one version, and then later on, one of the girl groups, like the Supremes, would sing another version. One good example, and this is not the song, is I Heard It Through the Grapevine,
Yes.
which is Marvin Gaye did one, and then Gladys Knight and the Pips did one, and both of them were equally successful, still on the Motown label. But my song from that era was originally done by a singer by the name of Chris Kenner, R&B, pop, rock and roll singer. That song, his song, was then covered by another group by Cannibal and the Headhunters.
Okay.
And then that song was then covered by a man by the name of Wilson Pickett. And I'm talking about a song called A Land of a Thousand Dances.
Okay.
So the original, Chris Kenner, it doesn't have that, let's see, that song is known for the hook that goes, na, 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 na. No, 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 no.
I was like, I know this song, and I'm like, why can't I hear it?
Yeah. So Chris Kenner didn't have that na 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 part in it. Cannibal and the Headhunters put it. It's kind of a medium tempo. I said no, 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 no.
Okay.
No. And then
I don't think I haven't heard the other two.
Oh yeah. And then when Wilson Pickett did it, he took it up like about 1,000 notches. Made it raw. He took it over to a place called Muscle Shoals, way out there in, I want to say, is that Arkansas, Tennessee, right in that area right there. And forgive me if I give the either Georgia, somewhere in that area. But there was a lot of African-American acts that heard the sound of the Muscle Shoals studio, went down there because they wanted to record their music because it had a lot of soul. It had, raw. And when they get there, they are surprised to see a bunch of white dudes, all the musicians, and they were like, take it up. I was like, where's the musicians? They're like, no, where are the musicians? It's like, you're not the guys that played on this. And that's another subject of another show later on. But anyway, Land of a Thousand Dances. I love Wilson Pickett's version. It's raw. When I want to get pumped up and just excited and just put myself in a good mood, Land of a Thousand Dances, Wilson Pickett is my choice for cover.
I am going to listen to that after we're done with it. I'm going to go check it out again because I do know the song, but it's been a long time and I'm not as familiar with that as you are. So cool.
Check it out.
All right.
Check it out. Song number 4, sir.
My fourth is a song that everybody knows, but they know it because of Peter Frampton. It's Baby, I Love Your Way. This one is done by Big Mountain. It was probably best known because it was on the Reality Bites soundtrack. And it's got that reggae sort of feel, that sort of vibe, that groove, which I really dug. I mean, the original's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Frampton. Frampton comes alive. Great guitar player, good songs. Everybody's covered this song too. There's a lot of covers of this song. But I just really like their take, their upbeat groove, the whole song sounds pretty upbeat and lively, and that's why I like it. I get the original. Again, it's not saying that I like this better, but I would be more apt to probably listen to this one. Like if I put on a party jam thing at home, I would put this version. The other one would be like,
That's yacht rock. Peter Frampton's version of yacht rock.
And I sold my yacht, so I don't listen to that kind of music anymore.
Oh yeah, we got to get on the boat.
Boat.
Yeah. Okay, good. Baby, no, I like that song too. Big Mountain version. That I usually have that on my reggae lists or whatever. All right, good choice. All right, so we're at song number 4 for me. Now, going back to the 80s, actually the original was done. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was the 60s or 70s. This group called the Paragons. It was covered in the early 80s by a new wave / punk band that was known in the 70s. A group by the name of Blondie, and the song is called The Tide is High. one of my mom's favorite songs. She every time that song came on the radio, she'd love to turn the music up, and she would kind of get her groove onto that song. But once again, one of those songs that I did not know was a cover song until once again I was on YouTube, and then I saw a version right along the that sidebar where it has all the suggestions where you go into that YouTube tangent every time. He was like, man, this was totally different from where I originally was.
Yeah.
But The Tide is High, once again, originally by the Paragons, is actually pretty cool, but it's weird because it's a bunch of guys. So, and Blondie, it's weird when they have to change the genders of the lyric of the genders, and you're singing along. Oh, wait a minute. But it's actually a pretty cool version. So I'm going with The Tide is High by the Paragons, and then done by Blondie.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know that was a cover.
Yeah,
I like the song though.
Yeah,
Blondie's awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna go with another cover that originally did not know was a cover. I think everybody knows now. It was done originally by Neil Diamond.
That's your favorite. I know that's your favorite. Your favorite artist.
Wait,
There's a little background, ladies and gentlemen. Mark does not like Neil Diamond, and I don't know why.
That's not exactly true. He has bravado that I don't quite understand. Play it now.
Come on, man. I know you sing out loud to Sweet Caroline. See, I know you sing out loud. Don't act like you're not hating on Neil Diamond.
So Neil Diamond, so Neil Diamond, he's not an everyday guy. But anyway, so the song I'm referring to is Red Red Wine by UB40. UB40 does excellent covers. I just like the reggae spin. I like that kind of sound. So their version of the song, because I've heard the original. When I first heard it, I was much younger, didn't know, just thought that was their song. And their song is just so much livelier, so much better, so much. So this is funny. So I'm going to tell a little quick story about UB40. I love UB40. Labor of Love 2 is like one of my favorite albums. They're great. I went to a party one time. I went to a party at Cal, and this guy was playing his guitar. He was talking about songs, and he's talking about UB40 specifically. And I was like, cool, I'm in it. I like UB40. And then he said that Many Rivers to Cross by Jimmy Cliff, like, yeah, that's okay. But UB40's version is just, and I went, oh, sorry, dude. I love UB40, but you just take the feel of the song and you just make it upbeat, and it just changes everything, and it's not an upbeat song. Jimmy Cliff's version is beautiful and great. And again, to each his own. Like, I love UB40, but there's one case where UB40 took a song and they did it okay, but they didn't,
Yeah.
Anyway, taken away from the Red Red Wines, and he just looked devastated. He was devastated when I said that to him. He was like I just met the dude. He's like, what? And I'm like, dude, I'm not. Anyway, so
way to burst his bubble, man. Come on, party pooper.
I hurt his feelings. He put his guitar away. He went and had a beer in the other room. No, but I told him, I said, no, man, I love UB40. That's a bad example of UB40. Like, Can't Help Falling in Love. That's a great, that's a cool upbeat cover, and that's fine. It doesn't really hurt the song, but anyway. Red Red Wine, everybody knows it. It's great. It's fun to sing. It's fun to drink too. So Red Red Wine, not the Neil Diamond version. One version.
Just hating on Neil Diamond, man. That's so messed up.
Play it now.
He wrote "I'm a Believer" by the Monkees, dude. How you gonna hate on Neil Diamond, man?
I don't really hate on Neil Diamond.
All right. Well,
I'm not a Boston Red Sox fan, so like Sweet Caroline. No, thanks.
All right, I guess. But actually, that song did make it on my list too, so that one.
Oh, it did. Okay, I thought it might. Yeah. So sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Okay, so here's my number 5. This is a song. The Beatles, also another one of those bands that have been covered a lot, but this particular one song. Heard on the Wonder Years soundtrack, and done very superbly. Now that's one of those songs where you hear the original and then you hear this version, and it doesn't really hit you until you really listen to the lyrics. It's like, this is a Beatles song, and I'm talking about "With a Little Help from My Friends" by Joe Cocker, and Joe Cocker, I don't. For me as a kid, I thought the guy was like man. This guy's spazzing out or something. You know, just
Yeah.
stage presence and the way he moves. You know, but take all the videos away of it, you hear his voice and you hear the way he sings.
Good. Yeah.
It is, oh my gosh. It's one of those songs. Now, Joe Cocker's before my time, but he did have some hits in the 80s. But hearing, with a little help from my friends, that version by Joe Cocker is just a real soulful, you know, it just really kind of, it grips me. It just like, I like,
it's one of those songs you can get chills if you listen to it, and it's a very good song.
Yeah, because just the crescendo, the soft parts, you know, and then you know when the hook comes in and the girls are singing in the background, and you know you got the drums, and you know, and not that it's a rockin' version, but you know it's like an emotional up and down, you know, and then you're just like, wow. After when that song is done, you're just like, ooh, Joe Cocker. Yeah, so that's, with a little help of my friends, song number 5 on my list.
And I love the Beatles, but that version is better. Because, I'm sorry, Ringo, you're a decent singer, but you don't got that kind of voice, man.
Well, you know.
Which is fun. It's fun. But, you know, yeah, it's a good song. It's a great song to sing, but his version, Joe Cocker version.
You better hope Ringo's not listening. He might be one of guests on the show. He could be
working
right now.
Sorry, Ringo. Love you, man.
And up until this point, he said, "Well, I'm not going to go on that show anymore." So
those guys are too random for me.
Oh, you know, peace and love. You know, hey. Okay. So let's go over our list one more time. We went over 5. So go over yours first, and then I'll go over mine, and then we'll do maybe a couple honorable mentions.
We'll do some honorable mentions.
Okay. So go ahead with your list first.
So I did Just to Be Close to You by Trey Lorenz, originally done by the Commodores.
Okay, and before you go on, once again, these are our top, I wouldn't say top, but these are best cover songs in our opinion.
Memorable cover songs. Yeah.
Memorable cover songs in no particular order. Okay, so Just to Be Close to You.
Trey Lorenz, yeah. When You Were Mine by Cyndi Lauper.
Never heard of it because you can't sing it. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not going to say anymore, man. Bizarre Love Triangle, Time After Time mashup by The New Limb.
Yep.
Baby, I Love Your Way by Big Mountain.
Okay.
And Red Red Wine, UB40.
Cool. Okay, how about 1 or 2 honorable mentions?
Honorable mention. Okay. The Spider-Man cover by the Ramones, just because you didn't like my Spider-Man pick. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty good, but that's not what my honorable mention.
Come on, Spider-Man. What's your honorable mention?
So, Hurt, Johnny Cash version, originally done by 9 Inch Nails. The reason I really like this, and people probably heard it, it's really stripped down, but it sounds pained. It sounds like Johnny Cash lived that. So because it's got that whole grittiness, that whole pained feel, even Trent Reznor says, "Man, like people don't even think of me when they hear that song anymore. They just think of Johnny Cash, and I wrote it." So he was kind of up, but he did it. He killed it. So
it's cool. How about one more, real quick?
One more honorable mention. Okay, here's one. We were talking about Can't Help Falling in Love, the Elvis Presley. So there's a version on the Some Kind of Wonderful soundtrack. It's by a group called Lick the Tins.
I've heard that song. I remember it from the trailers on TV.
Yes, it's in the end credits. It's in the trailers. The reason I like it, it's got like penny whistle or tin whistle in it, and it's got a female voice, and it's really done differently. It's super interesting. I like John Hughes films, and I like a lot of his soundtracks, and he has really good music in the soundtracks. Cameron Crowe too. But there's a lot of good covers, and I like that one. I like that one a lot. Again, I love Elvis Presley's original version, but this is a cool cover.
Okay. All right, good. Hurt and Can't Help Falling in Love with You, your honorable mentions. Okay, so here's my list, starting with Over the Rainbow, originally done by Judy Garland, and then covered by Israel Kamakawiwo Oli. Second song, Tainted Love, originally done by Gloria Jones, and then later covered Yeah, exactly. By Soft Cell. When you think 80s, that's one of those songs that you remember from the 80s. Next on my list is Land of a Thousand Dances, originally done by Chris Kenner, and then a version done by Cannibal and the Headhunters. But my version that I like is the one by Wilson Pickett. That's the one that I usually gravitate towards. Next is The Tide is High, originally done by the Paragons, later covered by Blondie. And finally, with a little help from my friends, originally done by the Beatles and covered almost like no other by Joe Cocker.
Yes.
So a couple of my honorable mentions, I'm going to say the Isley Brothers did a song that was covered by the Beatles, kind of doing a reverse thing here. Their original version by the Isley Brothers of Twist and Shout is sometimes played, but when you put both of them together, I kind of gravitate towards the Beatles version of Twist and Shout. Nothing wrong with the Isley Brothers version, but it sounds a little bit more raw and
yes. And Ronald Isley, he didn't do his, wow. If he did that, pick that one up to because that's
right. And then my second one, song originally done by Stevie Wonder. Mm-hmm. And once again, I didn't know this was a cover song until, I don't know, about several years afterwards. But it was a song covered by Casey and JoJo, done on MTV Unplugged, a song called Lately. I thought that was
going to play it on the piano, Roy. Please play it on the piano for us.
Yeah, okay, I would. I don't have a piano. At least I can try to sing it, not like you. But no, it's when that song came out, just out of high school, just beginning of college. So, a lot of memories of those times where we used to hang out, and then just hearing that song, and then it's the MTV Unplugged version too. Where it's Casey, sing it. Because those are included in the lyrics. Every time I hear the Stevie Wonder's version, I have to put the Jodeci lyric, or the Casey and JoJo. I even put the Casey and JoJo lyrics in there.
Right.
And, that's how ingrained it is in my head. So There you go. That's my second on the honorable mention list.
You didn't pick the Dan Band, a Total Eclipse of the Heart from old school. You didn't.
No. That was. I had a list of 100. That was at about 101.
It just missed the cut. Yes.
Yeah. So I couldn't fit it all on the paper. So what can you do?
All right. Well, that was episode 2. Thank you for watching. Thank you for It's fun. I like to see what you say. So it's like a conversation I have no idea what you were going to talk about, and I'm going to look up the Wilson Pickett song because I haven't heard it in a while. So.
Please do. Chris Kenner, and then Cannibal, and the Headhunters, and then Wilson Pickett.
Got it.
All right. So if you have any of your favorite covers, make sure you put it down there in the comments section below. Let us know what your favorite cover song is, or if you have, if you disagree or you agree, please let us know about it. And we will do another version of R.I.B. We didn't say the title of the show.
R.I.B. Random this time. I didn't want to say what we are, but we're the Random Ingredient Bureau.
Yeah, so I mean,
mustache. It's very like agent. Like somebody in the bureau has to have a good mustache.
I see. You wanted to be in burrito.
Yes.
Not incognito, in burrito.
In burrito.
All right, cool. Well, right on. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we hope to see you at the next RIB Random. I'm going to say intelligence. Random ingredient.
There's no intelligence in this.
Peace out. See you at the next one.